Hey there, how's it going, everybody? My name is Tom. I have a new channel called God's Glorious Gift. Um, I'm on here speaking to get the word out about some personal reflection, as well as a new renewed faith in God. And I'd like to share my testimony with people, um, as well as uh, basically tell you about some dreams that I had that correlate to a lot of other dreams that people have been having, especially in the recent months. I'll share some videos in the future of past dreams that I've had that reflect what I believe is coming soon to the world and to America. Some future events regarding war and what I believe is to be the wrath of God. Um, but the main dream that I would like to share, and this dream came to me about 3 months ago. Um, yeah, I believe it was about 3 months ago, and we're talking, end of January, early, yeah, I believe into January of this year, 2024. Um, we are now in end of April, or last part of April. This video is April 22nd, so it's fairly recent. But basically, I had a dream that I was in a house, and this house was a very dirty house. It was a very unkept house, a very hoarder-like type house. Um, there was a couple that seemed to be the owners of the house, or the people that were renting the house, and they seemed like, in this dream, they seemed like they were the typical, well, drug addict type people. Um, the house was very, stinky and dirty. Um, the man and the woman were older. Um, I would say even like almost elderly, like in their 60s. But both of them were, it was obvious they were high on heroin in the dream. In the dream, I wanted to get out of the house. I wanted to find an escape because it was so filthy and it smelled so bad. um, and I just couldn't find a door. I couldn't get out. There's cobwebs everywhere, stacks of books and boxes, and just general junk. Um, and so, the next part of the dream, I had obviously found the door. I had finally made my way out. I was then outside of the house, and I proceeded to leave the house and walk down the street. And in this neighborhood, it seemed like every house in this neighborhood was similar to the one that I was in. It was like the old junker kind of house, houses, kind of a lot of junk and old broken down cars and bicycles and boats and things all around. Um, the sky was real orangish, and I just got this impression that, hey, this whole world, this whole environment is like this. It's not just the house I was in. It's not just the neighborhood. As I walked, I seen that every person, every man, every woman that I along the streets, well, they kind of looked like something from a zombie movie. They were bent over. They were in pain and anguish. They were crying out. They weren't making sense when they were speaking. Um, it was very worrisome. I felt uncomfortable, and I'm a big guy. I've never been afraid of anything, but I felt myself I felt that I wasn't at ease at all around these people. I didn't want to get close to them. I kept my distance, and I kept walking down the street, hoping that maybe I would run into a nice neighborhood with some nice people, some friendly people, some people that weren't dirty, some people that weren't high, some people that weren't in anguish. And that didn't happen. I proceeded to walk by house after house, person after person, kept to myself. Um, and I remember looking up at the sky, and there was as I said, the sky was real orangish looking. It was like this dark kind of underworld. And there was a boat, an old rotted boat that looked like it came from the sea, something that was, submerged for centuries. And it was floating down softly from the sky, just kind of landed in front of me on the street in front of a house. Holes were in it. It was real rusty, real dirty looking. But it was almost like what it I see more and more things pretty much coming down from the sky like this. Old bicycles, wrecked cars, just general junk. And it was all floating down from the sky around me and landing all around me, kind of softly. As I looked up, I was thinking, well, this is kind of strange. This is like I'm in a giant trash can, and somebody's a giant is above just throwing these things down here, and they're kind of landing in slow motion. um, and more and more I started thinking that, wow, this is kind of like hell. I mean, this place is a place I don't want to be. This is a place that feels very uncouthly, feels very uncomfortable. I didn't feel very safe. um, and I just kept walking and seeing all this stuff landing around me, and the outside, the neighborhoods and the world I was walking through, so to speak, smelled just as bad as the house that I had exited with the two, elderly heroin addicts, heroin addict hoarders, we could say. But yeah, the smell was the worst smell. You can imagine if you didn't bathe for months, what it would smell like. And then maybe a mixture of that and every kind of drug you can think of, the smoke of every kind of drug you can think of in the air. Um, had me very uncomfortable. And so I proceeded to walk across a boardwalk in front of some, houses and huts and things. I seen a guy that was kind of walking towards me. He had tattoos all over him, kind of grody beard, bald head, and he looked like he had had a bath in quite a while, and that he was kind of doing the nodding thing and bent over and like he was high on drugs. And I was trying to avoid him, but he came up to me, and he got right in front of me, and he kind of leaned in, and he says, "You're a good seed, man. You're a good seed." And at that point, I pretty much woke up out of the dream, and I got the gist of what was trying to be instilled in my mind by God in the dream, showing me that this is the kind of place that you could be. This is the time to quit backsliding, quit being lukewarm, quit going both directions, stop your sin, and change your ways. And come to me, follow me, be consistent, be hot, not cold, and not lukewarm. And I've had some other dreams in the meantime, some similar dreams of dark places like this, and a couple of dreams where I was with friends of mine that are friends that are now into heavy drugs, and friends that are now not living a very good lifestyle, some of which are homeless, some have been in gangs, some just took a turn for the worst in life. And I had used to hang out with them, well, when I was younger. And I've had a couple of dreams, where I was in for example, one, I was with a friend of mine and a girl that I didn't know, and another man, and in this dream we were in this, it almost looked like an empty pool, a cement dugout for a pool behind an apartment complex. And I had jumped over the fence, the gate, to get to this in-ground empty pool, that was semi-covered, half covered, I was the first one to go there. I don't know why I did, but I crawled down there, and once I had jumped in there, I realized that at the top of the pool, was too high for me to reach to grab it and pull myself up. And being a big guy like him, I probably wouldn't have been able to pull myself out of there anyway. But I realized I was kind of stuck there, um, and was about 15 feet deep. I couldn't even make a jump to get up there and grab the ridge to pull myself up, the cement ridge. And so in the dream, I was kind of inspecting, walking around. I found a concrete ledge. On that concrete ledge was the biggest amount of cigarette butts and tobacco and marijuana and um, marijuana cigars, aka blunts, and things like that, drug paraphernalia, all this stuff. And throughout my life, I had struggled with marijuana all of my life, from the time I was 13 until about 8 months ago. Um, and it had been a problem for me. It had been an idol. It's something that I had looked at as a medicine, something that I looked at differently and beneficial, and gave reasons as to why I did it. And it was the worst thing that ever happened to me, and it took up a couple of, 3 decades of my life. I'm almost 43 years old. It caused me some severe heart problems and health problems and financial difficulties. Never had money, was always broke. Always had to smoke marijuana before I did anything, before I worked, during work, after work, before any activity. Um, it was just ridiculous. And this dream was showing me, I think, to not only stay away from those old friends of mine, but to stay away from the marijuana, the drug, and to let me know where it could end up and the kind of dark place that I could be stuck at. Kind of like, this underground area that seemed like a, cement dugout for a pool that I was stuck in. It may be a sign that maybe, you know, it could be my little jail cell in hell, so to speak. But in this dream, I seen this cement ledge with all this paraphernalia, these cigarette butts, tobacco, marijuana, all this paraphernalia and pipes and things, and next thing I knew, my friend was down there with me. I won't mention his name, but my old friend, who is now into heavier drugs, and he's unstable, can't hold a job, can't suffice in life. He was there, and boy, it was like a plethora of all kinds of good stuff for him. He was loving it. He's seen all that marijuana up there. He was happy. He was all smiles. There was another guy, Hispanic guy, that was down there with us, and a Hispanic girl. Both of them looked like drug addicts. I didn't know them, but I found myself wanting to get out of there, wanting to get away from it. I went over to the other side and noticed that when I got to the other side of this dugout, which was like this empty pool, there was a ledge that was only a foot or two higher than my head. I was able to grab it. I was able to pull myself up and see that there was an opening in the gate on the other side. And I said, thank God there's an exit out of this, because I don't want to be in this place. And then that dream ended there, at that point. So I think with both of these dreams is kind of a revelation to me from God, since I have over the last year renewed my relationship with Him, made Him a part of my daily life, and included day and night prayers to Him and communication with Him regularly, and decided to live my life as the way I know to live it, and by the Word of God and by what I was taught growing up and from being in church when I was younger. I think these are some dreams that He was showing me to let me know, what can happen if I backslide, and to maybe help some other people out there, get the message out, let them know that, hey, hell could be a scary place. It's I'm sure a dark place, and it's real. Yeah, it's definitely real. So I just wanted to start out with this video for my channel, give you guys some of my personal reflection of my dreams, and share my journey, getting closer to God, and I have plans on putting up plenty more videos to come. I hope you like my channel, like my video. If so, hit the subscribe button, and feel free to comment. I love to communicate and love to share my journey, and I would love to hear about yours and help you on your way. So I want to say thank you to everybody, and I'll be talking to you soon. Take care.